Hey folks, I'll be reviewing Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This is, without a doubt, one of the greatest movie sequels of all time. I mean, I'm no movie buff, but I am a very typical moviegoer. I really like movies. I'll probably never know or understand how some people are movie buffs. Maybe years from now I'll meet a movie buff. I mean, like in person, not online or over the phone. So if T2 was made in the late '80s, it probably wouldn't be as good as it actually is, or it probably would have sucked. Who knows? The T-1000, who's a fascinating villain, by the way. It didn't need to be CGI, but it probably would have really helped. It was probably for the best that he was CGI. T2 is probably the first major Hollywood movie to use CGI at all, or use a lot. Probably a lot of people will disagree with me on this. I think all of the CGI used in the movie was necessary. It was used well. None of the exoskeletons or hunter killers, they weren't CG. They were all real prosthetic. Is that right? Effects, unlike in T3, what I just mentioned, they were all CG. So like I said in my T1 review, not only is T2 a great action movie, the plot is dark and compelling, the characters are compelling. Well, I know I didn't say that part earlier, and also this movie has a lot of heart. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I think the movie wouldn't be this successful if it didn't have any heart, or not as much. The two Terminators premise, it was there from the beginning, but the identities, they weren't there from the beginning. There were two unused premises. The first premise was that both Terminators would be T-800s. They would both be played by Arnold. And the second premise was that Michael Biehn, the guy who played Kyle Reese, would be the bad guy. And well, I don't know if he would have been a T-800 or a T-1000. That premise was dropped because it was considered too confusing. Well, I really don't agree with that. That premise sounded awesome. The schedule was very tight, or somewhat tight, from green lighting, whatever, to release date. That schedule, not just filming, everything lasted less than a year, and so I'm sure Jim Cameron was stressed out here and there. Since the schedule was tight, the writing process didn't last long. It only lasted a couple weeks. Brainstorming and writing happened simultaneously. Jim and his friend Bill Wisher wrote the script together. It's surprising that the script became so good after only 2 weeks of writing. Okay, I already talked about the CG. I thought I was going to talk about it right now rather than earlier. Okay, finally the marketing plan, scheme, campaign, whatever, it was unusual. Like a lot of blockbusters, there were 3 trailers. One was a teaser, the second trailer, it it was ambiguous. No one knew if Arnold was a good guy or the bad guy. Probably most people thought he was a bad guy, since he was a bad guy in the first movie, and there was a rumor that Arnold was a good guy. It wasn't confirmed. The final trailer did confirm that Arnold was the good guy. So yeah, naturally the movie had a lot of hype. There was a novelization, countless video games, probably coloring books, and a couple board games. I'm just guessing. I haven't played any of the T2 video games, but I have played the arcade game. It's awesome. So, if you've seen the first movie and liked it, or maybe thought it was decent, well, you really should watch this movie. It's awesome. It's not exactly a typical action movie. It may make you cry. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Good night.